uh, Sup YouTube, Crimson Fox here with another deck breakdown. Today I'll be breaking down my Ice Barrier deck. I wanted to make an Ice Barrier deck for a while. I saw my friend use it in a Tag Force game, if I'm not mistaken, and they seemed interesting. They could control the field really well. They had awesome um, card art, and they're based on ice, and I just like ice powers, especially in anime, because they're often the most broke. Not even joking. Take any ice character from any anime and tell me he's not the most broke character. The best example I can think of right now is Toshiro Hitsugaya from Bleach. Anyway, getting off that, let's move on to the deck. First up, we have 2 Cryomancer of the Ice Barrier. He's a really good card. Level 2 tuner, 1300 attack. If I control another Ice Barrier, he becomes Gravity Bind, which is always nice. Stops monsters from attacking. Of course, with the day and the obsession of Exceeding, it doesn't matter. But the card I combine them with does make it kind of matter. Anyway, next card. 2 Daisojo of the Ice Barrier. He's a pretty good card. I like him a lot. Level 6, 1600 attack, 2200 defense. He's always changed to defense whenever he's normal or flip summon, so it's kind of good that he has more defense than attack. But I think his real advantage is his effect. He protects my ice barriers from being destroyed by spell and trap cards as long as he's face up. Actually, it doesn't say as long as he's face up. It just says face up ice barrier monsters you control cannot be destroyed by spell or trap card effects. Of course, I just assume that he's sorry, I lost for words. I'm kind of tired. Anyway, I just assume he has to be face up. Anyway, but he's a really good card. Protects from spell trap like Dark Hole and Fissure and that shit. All right, moving on. Dance Princess. Dance Princess is really good. I like her a lot. She's basically a giant Trunade. If I control another Ice Barrier, I can reveal a number of Ice Barrier monsters from my hand and send the same number of set spell trap cards my opponent controls back to his hand. 1700 attack, level 4, so she's easy to get out. Really nice card. I run 2 of that. 2 Defender of the Ice Barrier. He's one of my favorite cards. Level 3 tuner with 1600 defense. That's what matters. He can have low attack. He's supposed to have low attack. What you want is defense. Basically, while you control another Ice Barrier, monsters your opponent controls cannot declare an attack if their attack is greater than or equal to this card's defense. So pretty much all 1600 or higher monsters cannot attack. Which means you want to put them in defense position as soon as possible, but I'm sorry. You know, if there was a permanent shield and sword, that would be great. He would stop a lot of shit. And plus he'd have 1600 attack. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked. What I really like about Defender is, he... sorry, I had to move again. His effect only works on my opponent's monsters, whereas Cryomancer, who I often pair up with Defender, because their effects work well together. Anyway, unlike Cryomancer's effect, where it affects all monsters, his only affects my opponent's side. That's why I like him more than I like Cryomancer. But still, pretty good. Cryomancer's still pretty good. But I think this card's just slightly better. Anyway, moving on. Next card is General Kantala. He is the main... I want to say the key card of the deck. I want to say it. He is pretty much the key card of the deck. He helps me swarm the most. Out of all my cards, he helps me swarm the most. Basically, once per turn, I can get an Ice Barrier monster from my grave. And, well, I can get it from the grave. I can only do this once per turn. It's during my end phase, so it's a little slow. And I only get one monster, but still, it's nice. It's a nice return. So, really is good. I run 2 of him. He's a level 7, 2700 beater, so his attack is nice. I just don't like that super high level. But generally speaking, he's a really good card. Nice to have. All right, next, General Grunard of the Ice Barrier. I only run 1 of him because he's got great attack and his effect is kind of useful, but I think he's just too high level, and it's just not it's just not useful to have more than 1 of him because it takes 2 tributes to summon 1. It would take 4 tributes to summon 2. It's hard to keep your monsters up on the field, from what I've tested out with this deck. It's really hard to keep monsters up on the field without having a Grunard. Or, not Grunard, but a Guntala. Or this guy, which I'll get to later. But he's still pretty nice. I mean, he's 28 beater, and he allows me to normal summon 1 additional Ice Barrier monster, which is always good. I love an additional normal summon. That's why I run 1 of him, besides the fact that he's 28 beater. But he's not good enough to run 2 of. And definitely not enough to run 3. None of the generals are good enough to run 3. That's just too much space. Alright, next. The last general. General Raiho. General Raiho's okay. It's not the best, but he's pretty okay. Basically, when my opponent activates a monster effect on the field, they have to discard a card. Or rather, they can discard a card. If they don't, that monster's effect is negated. So, let's say they summon a Turukai. I have Raiho on the field. I go, okay, discard a card. They say no. I'm like, alright then. Effect is negated. They don't get their Turukai's effect, which is always nice. So he's okay, but not good enough. Again, not good enough to run more than 1 of. Because he does not specify what kind of card they have to discard. And it's not very good. It doesn't work as well as other things. But he's still good enough to have at least 1. Plus he's a 21 beater that's level 6. It's more than I can say about the other level 6 in the deck. Next, one of the best cards in the deck, Prior of the Ice Barrier. He is really, really good. Combos well with any other Ice Barrier that needs another Ice Barrier to use its effect. Such as Cryomancer, Dance Princess, Defender, and that's it. Just those ones. Really, really good. Basically, you can tribute him to special summon any one Ice Barrier monster from the deck. Or not from the deck, from the grave. He also has an effect to special summon himself that turn. So, that's always nice. But if you do special summon him from using that effect, that turn he cannot special summon level 5 or higher monsters. So you'd have to wait a turn in order to special summon like Guntala or Grunard from the grave. Or Daisojo. Notice how I left out Raiho. Sorry if you couldn't hear that. I was making a joke. But anyway. Ow. Sorry, there's something on my shoulder. It's bugging me. But, yeah. Pretty good, really, really good card, actually. Gets out most of your combos. Really fast special summoning. Really, really good. Alright, next. Secret Guards of the Ice Barrier. I'm going to be honest, the only reason I got this card is because he looked cool. I didn't notice his attack, which is pathetically low. But still, he looks cool. And he has an okay effect. Pretty much, he's like Daisojo, but instead of spell trap effects, he protects me from being targeted by monster effects. And since all monsters effects that I know of target pretty much he protects me from all monsters' effects. I don't know if there are any that don't target, but whatever. There might be. I don't know. But anyway, so for that he's really good. The problem is he's got really, really low attack. He's got only 100 attack. That's not good. You want him out on the field and in any face up position. Since you can't normal summon in face up defense like you could in the anime. Damn anime. Damn them. Damn them to hell. I'm just kidding, I love the anime. But because you need him in attack and you need him face up, it's kind of stupid that they made his attack really low. I mean, look at him. He looks like he'd be a boss-ass beater. He'd just kill you. I mean, look, he's got 2 katana made of ice. He's got a scarf, and everyone knows anime character plus scarf plus ice powers equals Bamf. I'm not joking, man. Just you wait. But anyway, really, he's not that great of a card. He doesn't do that much. He has too low of an attack, but I couldn't think of a better Ice Barrier to put in, so I just put him in, seeing how he would do. He does okay. I mean, I have to prior him most of the time, but he does okay. Alright. Next, I run 3 Strategist. Strategist is your main draw power of the deck, minus... No, he's your main draw power, pretty much. You send an Ice Barrier monster to the grave to draw 1 card. That's it. It's okay. It's pretty good draw power. Maybe not the best, but definitely pretty good still. Alright. Moving on to spells. Dark Hole. Staple. Heavy Storm. Staple. Magic Triangle. 2 Magic Triangle of the Ice Barrier. This is a really, really good card. Not good enough to run 3. Well, maybe good enough to run 3, but I only ran 2. I wanted to see how it would work with 2. Basically, you reveal 3 different Ice Barrier monsters in your hand. Select 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it, and then special summon any Ice Barrier monster from your hand. Really, really good. I love this card. I really do. That's why I run 2 of it. I don't think it's good enough to run 3. Well, it might be. I haven't tried running 3. But, as far as I know, it's good enough to run 3. It's a really good card. It really is. But I'd have to take away from somewhere, and quite frankly, the one spell I need 3 of is the next card, which is Medallion of the Ice Barrier. I can add 1 Ice Barrier, any level, from my deck to my hand. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Like, really impressive. Anyway. Sorry. Forgot what I was talking about. Right. It's pretty much the E-Call, and it's really useful. Activate it, add Prior. Activate it, add frickin' Strategist. Activate it, add Defender. Activate it, get Guntala. You know, it gets you any Ice Barrier monster, which is terrific. Always good to have that. Monster Reborn, staple. 2 Moray of Greed. I felt that this deck needed a little bit more draw power. I'm like, well, since they're all water, why not use Moray of Greed? Looked at Moray of Greed. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Return 2 water monsters from my hand to the deck and then draw 3 cards. So it's pretty good. And I have a chance to draw in this Tame 2 monsters again. So, really good card. Not good enough to run 3. Really good draw power. 2 MST, staple. 2 Salvage. This is to get my my more useful water monsters from my grave that I've already used up. Like, I want to reuse my Priors, salvage them. Really, really good. I want to reuse Cryomancer, salvage it. Do Dark, fucking salvage it. Secret Guards, don't salvage it. You're not going to salvage him. He sucks. Well, he doesn't suck, but he's not as good as the other ones. Surface. This is pretty much a secondary monster board for my lower level Ice Barriers. Cryomancer, Prior, Secret Guards, Defender. I target one, pretty much how it works is you target 1 level 3 or lower, Fish, Sea Serpent, or Aqua type monster in the graveyard, and special summon it in face-up defense position. I figured I have a lot of low-level ones, why not use them? Alright, so that's it for the spells. Next, Traps. 2 Bottomless. staple, minus the, unless you're using Solemn Warning, which I just preferred to banish rather than Nagini summon. Call of the Haunted, only one because it's staple. Mirror Force staple, Solemn Judgment staple. Yeah, it's pretty much a staple. Spell Trap deck. Spell Trap set. I'm thinking about getting rid of Dark Hole. It's not really that useful as a staple. It's never really helped me in some decks. Like, sometimes it helps me. Very rarely, though. I very rarely draw into it when I need it. I usually draw in it when I have a field full of monsters and I'm about to win. That's usually, literally, that's when I draw into it. So I'm thinking about getting rid of it and putting in a second Call of the Haunted. Anyway, moving on. To the extra deck. Brionac, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Well, 1, he's an Ice Barrier, and 2, he's a staple. Really good card. Decided to use him. 2, Dulorn. Simply because he's an Ice Barrier, and he's got an okay effect. You return cards that you control to the hand, and he gains 500 attack for it. So that's always nice. Gungnir. Gungnir is boss. He is my favorite Ice Barrier dragon. He is just so fucking good. Don't believe me? Listen to this. Once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards. Up to 2 cards to the graveyard to target the same number of cards your opponent controls. Destroy them. So he blows up 2 cards at the cost of 2 cards. Alright. Now I'm sure you're thinking, well, that doesn't sound too good. You're discarding 2 cards. It doesn't sound as broke as you think. Think about it this way. If you could use him in a Dark World deck, how broke would that be? Discard 2 Grapha, blow up 2 cards, blow up 2 cards. Come on, that's fucking amazing. Now, of course, I'm just thinking of Dark Worlds or Fabled. But in relatively, he's really good. He's my favorite dragon. Frickin' Ice Barrier dragon. I like him a lot more than Trishula. Because at least he's fucking affordable. Unlike Trish. Fucking. I'm glad he got banned. That's right, I said it. I'm glad he got. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually on neutral with that one. But anyway, 2 Gungnir. Next, the Xyz. Blackberry Lancer, because he negates effects and takes water monsters. Evagishi Merogeist returns monsters that she destroys, and is water. I always like that. Gachi Guntetsu. He's Gachi, and I have a lot of level 2s. Works great with the deck. Levier, just in case my monsters get banished. Leviathan for beat stickness. Utopia for staple. Utopia Ray, staple. Steel Swarm Roach for lols. He's a good card, but I see people don't like to use him anymore. It's so weird. Sorry. So anyway, that's the deck. Hope you enjoyed this little video. If you guys want me to build you a specific deck, you want to duel me on DNet, or you need some deck advice, you know, just PM me or leave a comment in the video. And remember to rate, comment, subscribe, throw chairs, something like that. And until next time, you keep on being here on the internet. Bye.